Hello everyone. As part of this video today we'll try to cover about JWT bearer authentication. So the following topics you can see like authentication and authorization and how to generate the token and how to validate the token. How can we use the same token for multiple application and how to test the token, how to read the claims. So all these things which I mentioned in this, we are going to cross check it. So if you see the basic fundamentals, what is authentication? Authentication is a process of verifying your identity, or you can say authentication is a process of verifying the credentials. And what about the authorization? Like user should be authenticated ideally, and we are going to also check whether respective user is going to have the permissions or not, right? So this is authentication and authorization. Let's go and jump to JWT token, or you can say JSON web token. We are going to use a bearer authentication. Yeah, we are going to follow these steps and verify them. So first I'm going to create the project. So let me click on Visual Studio. Okay, so we are going to create the API project. Okay, for the token generation I'm creating a new project. Okay, so as a part of it, we are going to, as I said, going to create the API project, and I'm selecting the ASP.NET Core Web API. So this is the one. I'm clicking on next, and we'll mention it as the token. Project name is JWT tokens. Okay, and project name should be JWT token generator. Okay, this is our project. You can say it is an API, so I will mention as an API JWT token generator API and clicking on next. So I'm disabling the configure for HTTPS, and we are selecting the LTS for .NET 8.0 .NET 8.0 LTS. Okay, clicking on create button to create the default API project, and once it is generated, so we need to yeah, we will cross check whether it is working or not first. So I just triggered, you can say, a run application. Let's see. It is going to run somewhere, yeah, in this. So it looks it is going to run perfectly. Yeah, it's still not yet started, but yes. So yeah, it is running successfully without any issues. So we are going to use the same solution and project. Okay, so first step is a part of it, as I said, like we create a project and add the required NuGet package. So this is a package name we need to add into the project. So let me add this project NuGet package. Click on dependencies, right click and manage NuGet package, and add the browse. Click on browse button to install a new NuGet package. Click on it, and if you select this, yes, this is the one. So right now we are using the .NET 8.0. Ideally 9.0.4 is not going to support it, so I am going to modify it. See, if you see the error, it is the same. Package restored failed. Rollback package changes for this so and so, and package Microsoft.ASP.NET Core authentication JWT bearer 9.0.4 is not compatible with the .NET 8.0. So ideally 9.0.4 supports .NET 9.0. Right now still I am using the 8.0, so I will go back to the 8.0 itself. So let me go back to the 8.0 version and let me install it. Yeah, I'm installing it. So once it is done, so we need to the next step is add JWT or authentication settings in app settings file. So let me go back to the app settings. Let me see this package is installed or not. Yes, it is installed. Now go to the app settings.json file, and as a part of it, so we need to set up the some authentication settings. So let me add these settings. You can give any name, JWT, or you can say add settings. It's our wish, whichever you wanted to give. So I will go with the JWT. Okay, and colon, and what are the settings ideally we need it. So ideally we need it like who is generating the token. Okay, so this is called who is generating the token, or who is sending the token, or you can say in our case in technical terms we call it as a issuer. Okay, so issuer, let it be kept as a property, and who are going to access this token or who are going to consume this token. So that is nothing but we technical terms we call is audience. Okay, so these both are, issuer is the like token generator, audience is the whoever going to consume it. So both I am going to mention as URLs. Okay, and the key. So the key ideally is a key for generating the token. So token generation should be ideally going to happen with the help of some you can say security algorithm. Ideally most of the people use the SHA-256. Okay, and what is the expiry time? Expiry in minutes. Okay, these are just our keys. For easy understanding purpose, I am using the regular, I mean technical terms generally getting used. So I will mention as a 60. Okay, so it is not a string, so it is an integer. So keys. So for the coming to the key part, this key we need to write some key. It should be ideally 32 bit or 64 bit like that. So I have some test key already like this. So I will show you a negative case as well. If you remove some number or some character, what will happen while generating the token. And what is the who is the audience and who is the issuer. As I said, issuer is the whoever going to generate the token, and this our application is, as you see, JWT token generator API. This is our application. So our token generator will be, this is the application. So where we will see the application URL, you are going to see the application URL in this. So here, right? So let me copy this issuer URL as from the app settings file. So app settings file, as you see, it's available in the, yeah, sorry, this application URL is present in the LAN settings file, and I have taken this application URL and configured it. So who is going to validate this token? See, ideally our application itself going to validate it, but there will be cases where this token should be validated for multiple applications. Suppose you generated a token with okay, by passing the username and password, you validated that username and password by with the help of database, and you are going to generate a token in the API application. In that case, this same token should be utilized in the web application as well, right? So in that case, the audience you should give also as a web API, or you are going to use the same token for another API application as well, right? So in that case, we need to put the set of audience as a array, string array. So I will keep it as empty at this moment. So I am just keeping it as like, let me keep it as this thing, 706 17906, just like this. Let's see. So I think your clear issue is a generator, audience is the whoever going to consume the token, key is a thing which is going to getting used for generating the token, and expiry in minutes is nothing but the expiry time. Now we added the setting, that is well and good. Now from where we need to generate this token? So we have one default controller. Okay, let it be. So there are few settings ideally we need to make it. Like first of all we need to read these settings. Okay, so how to read the settings? So we are going to read the settings where, okay, JWT settings, how to read it? So builder dot configuration, right? Get section, which section we are going to read it? We have mentioned as JWT, if you remember, right? So this is a section which we are going to read it. And what we are going to read it? We are taking this as key, so let it be there, let it be there. So after reading the JWT settings or token settings, we need to tell the system to authenticate while authenticating. So we need to use for while authenticating. So the we need to provide the authentication service builder dot services dot add authentication. But as a part of it, what we need to do? So we need to mention which type of authentication scheme we are going to use it. Okay, we are going to use default authentication scheme. So the default authentication scheme is, if you go here, options dot, let me copy this. Okay, so default authentication scheme. Okay, so in this default authentication scheme, so what we need to assign the values? We need to assign the, we are going to use, this is the default authentication scheme values we are assigning with the JWT default values, default authentication scheme values, because we are ideally using the JWT bearer token, right, to authenticate. So JWT bearer defaults is the one, and authentication scheme. Okay, this is the one we are going to use it, and let assign the semicolon, right, dolkid, yeah. And what we are going to do? So this is to mention the system that what authentication scheme we are using it, and as a part of it we need to add the JWT bearer settings as well. So if as this current application itself, okay, is going to validate the token as well, the token which is generated in this application, the same token we are going to validate in this application itself while accessing any resource. So for that purpose we are going to add the token validation parameters. So how to add the token validation parameters? The token validation parameters will be available in the add JWT bearer. In this we are going to have the options dot token validation parameter. If you see, these parameters we are going to use for token validation. Token validation parameters, Microsoft dot identity, yeah, we are going to use it as using. Okay, then so what are the parameters we need to use to validate the incoming token? What are the parameters we need to use for token validation? Okay, so we have registered default authentication scheme and then what are the properties or parameters to be considered for validating the token. So we are going to use the validate issuer. So we are telling the system to validate the issuer, like who is giving the token. Okay, in our case our application itself is giving the token. Okay, so who is going to validate the audience? So I mean, the WT bearer mechanism is going to validate the audience as well, but what is the other property which we need to take care of it? Validate lifetime. So if the token has a 30 minutes of time, if after that 30 minutes if you are trying to access the application, then we need to tell that 401 error, right? Our token expired, so that automatically this entire setup is going to take care of it. So next is validate audience. Who is audience? Audience is nothing but to which are the applications can consume the same token, is nothing but validate to audience. We are mentioning it as a true. And also another important thing is validate issuer signature. Issuer signature. Validate issuers signing key. Sorry, issuer signing key. We are mentioning as a true. Okay, so we are going to cross check all these things. That's okay, but what are the values for valid issuers? So valid issuers are nothing but the things which we already configured. So the already configured things are JWT settings. Okay, in this, what is the property for issuer, and similarly we are going to have the valid audience. Says it is valid, sorry, it's a valid audiences. There are multiple audiences we are having, as you know. If you go and see, there are two URLs we configured, 1 2, right? So let me go back to the C. So I am going to read the string of arrays. So let me keep it as get section. Okay, then audience and get, and this is not the square bracket, and this is also need to be changed, and get of string. As we are having multiple audiences, so we need to convert it to a string parameter, right? And also now we are also going to provide issuer signing key as well. Symmetric new symmetric security key. So here what do we need to provide? We need to provide the key. What we are having, the key already available, so this is the key, but will it accept as this? No, it is going to take the encoding format of our key. So let's encode the our key UTF-8 to get bytes of JWT settings of which thing, our key. Okay, now if you see, this is the token validation parameters. So we are mentioning the top section validate the all these parameter: issuer lifetime, audience, issuer signing key. And while validating, we are also telling to the system that please validate with these parameters. The value of the issuer is valid issuer value is this thing, valid audience values is this one, and issuer signing key value is this one. Okay, so when our system is going to validate the issuer, it is going to compare with this internally, and it is going to compare with this audience, and it is also while after decrypting the token, or you can say after reading the all the claims, or you can say basically decrypting the token itself. So this key is going to be used to in issuing, or you can say in decrypting the token, not decrypting the token, but yes, this key will be cross checked whether the same key is used or not. Okay, so this is the setting which we need to make it. This is well. Now this is all things we have written so far is to just to validate the incoming token. Okay, so now we need to write also app.use authentication, app.use authentication, right? This is also used. So as we are going to use authentication mechanism, so we added the authentication. So I missed again solution explorer, let me open. Yeah, now we added the app settings, and we added the this thing, you can say authentication and authorization settings. Right now we are going to move to controller. Okay, I am going to add a one controller, authentication controller, or you can say generally say we are going to use API. I'm going to use authentication controller, or you can give any name. So I will mention as um, login controller. Okay, login controller or token general. Okay, login controller only will mention. I'm mentioning the login controller. Okay, as a part of it, we are going to have the method called login public I action results. Okay, login. What we are going to login? We are going to, this should be ideally login method will be always the post method. So I am going to use the from body. So before using that further, we are going to have the HTTP post, or this HTTP post, HTTP post. Okay, and what is the method called login method? Okay, from body. So from body is wrong. Here we need to put the square brackets. Yeah. So let's create a login request. I mean, this should be either any class, or you can say a record. Okay, request return unauthorized by default. Okay, login request we need to create, right? Let's create login request. So create a public record, login request. What are the parameters we need? It string username, string password. This is similar to class. You can explore the record concept in the C#. So login request. Okay, so what we are going to do, we need to validate this. So if request dot username equal to admin, say an example. Okay, and request dot admin request dot password equal to some temporary password, say password, then generate the token. What we are trying to do in this, so user has tried to access the login URL by passing the username and password to this controller. Okay, So then once user get it, the we are right now you need to actually validate the username and password by with the database. So but it will take lengthy video, so I will just cross verify saying that if your request is containing the username as admin and password is a password, okay, then we need to send the token back to the caller. So I am just mentioning is a token. So we need to have some method to generate the token. So what we are going to do for generating the token, we can have the token method in this itself, or we can have a one service. So what I will do, I will just create a one class file which will generate the ideally token. Okay, so let me create a JWT token service. Let it be, make it fast. Token service.cs. So what I am going to do as a part of it, I am going to have one public method, say public string generate token, string username, okay, and also by this time already it's validated, so I am going to mention role as well. So we are going to read the same settings again in this as a part of it. So let's go to program.cs file. I'm going to read the settings. Okay, keep the same thing, JWT token service, read the settings, where key equal to new symmetric security key for the encoding purpose. Just one. Yeah, so as a part of this, we are going to use a new symmetric security key. So the same procedure which we applied ideally, if you see this thing, we are going to use it here in the JTech token service class. Okay, semicolon. Alright, so now what is the algorithm we are going to use it, that we need to mention it. New signing credentials. So what is the key? The key which we use here is this is the key we need to use it. So that key name is key, okay, comma, and which algorithm we need to use. And this is the security key. Ideally the security key whichever we use in app settings.json file, we cannot use, we cannot pass to anybody by directly as is, and we should not keep in even app settings file. As a temporary, we are working on this to how to understand and understanding the token generation process, we are using it, but you can keep it in the Azure Key Vault. Now let's go to the signing credentials class. So which algorithm we are going to use it? Security algorithms dot, we are going to use SHA-256, HMAC SHA-256. It is recommended one. You can try with another one as well for generating the token. So we have the builder, we need builder. So again in this we need the builder. So let's copy the I configuration, get the access to I configuration, I configuration underscore configuration, right? Now we need to read the configuration from configuration. Now we need to assign the value to this, so we need the constructor for it, right? So we need, which thing we need I configuration as an input parameter. So let me put it as a private property as underscore, and we'll modify this accordingly. And this is the configuration property we are going to get as an input, and we are assigning back to our private variable. Now assigned it. Now move to the next. If you see this configuration, we are reading it here, that's okay. Grades we are reading okay. So what are the things to keep as a part of the now in the token? So what are the things we need to keep it? As you know, we need to keep all these things, whatever whichever we think of to keep it, na, that are all called as claims. So list claim, I wanted to keep list set of things, so all these are considered as claims. So one, so let me put as a semicolon in this. So new claim. Okay, what is a claim I wanted to use? I wanted to use a claim type start. If you see, there are several claim types will be there. So as a part of it, I'm going to use just name. Okay, it's nothing but our username. Okay, and then same new claim, I'm going to use it. Now the another new claim which I'm going to use is role. Claim type as a role, and whatever the user role which I am passing for testing purpose, I am going to use the same role. So I added the claims. Okay, this is first step. And but to whom we are generating it? Okay, from where we are generating it, all these things we need to define it. So we have multiple audiences, right? So what I will do, again we need to read the section, read this section from JWT settings. So let me copy this, and token service, put this. We are reading the again audience from here. So this is nothing but all receivers, you can say, or whoever going to consume the token, that is okay. Another one, this is okay, but where we are going to use it? Let first create the token variable, new JWT security token. Okay, so this is the actual one to generate the token class. So we will mention who is the issuer. Who is the issuer for us? Our issuer is available in here. Issuer value is this one. So this one we need to read in the token service. How to read it? JWT settings of issuer. Okay. So comma, and what are the claims? We are going to read it. We are going to read the all the claims which we generated. What happened to this? The issue does not exist in the current context. Okay, I think issuer spelling is wrong. Okay, I think we need to have some classes as a part of it. So let's see. Using, okay, so let's write it first. Let's see. So claims is claims, and expires is another one. Date time. So I am mentioning as to, I am copying from some other place. So I am going to read it. JWT settings. So this is just to read the section, you can say, our app setting file. Signing credentials. Grades, whatever we are having it. let me control KD, generate token, and finally we are going to use return. Yeah, I just made a mistake. So this is not flower basis, it is a class, right? So let me correct this and pass it. Right, right. So signing credentials. Okay. It is a spell correction. Signing credentials. Yeah, I mentioned signing credentials now. So everything is done. We have mentioned issue, who is the issuer, who is what are the claims to be taken, and who, when it is going to expire, and what is the signing credentials. So like it's nothing but like with which key we are going to generate the token. So now we are going to return the JWT security handler token handler dot final token. We are going to generate it with the help of this method. So it is going to write the token into the token variable, sorry, token settings, and it is going to return it. But do you see anything missed in this? If you see who is the issue, we mentioned it, what are the claims, we mentioned it, but we haven't mentioned like who is the receiver. A receiver also need to be mentioned as a part of it. So we just mentioned audience here. So again, receiver also can be mentioned as a, you can say, in claims itself. Okay, let's add in audiences. Okay, now I am going to add the same thing, claims dot add new claim, new claim. So what is the claim to use? JWT registered claim names dot audience dot AOD. Yeah, we are done mostly. So here C is giving the issue, it is a capital C, claim spelling is wrong, CLE I am, right. Now let's see any errors, no errors. So ideally we created the complete JWT token service, which will ideally going to generate the token service. We are going to read all the settings from the configuration file and the key also as well, and we are using symmetric security key and HMAC SHA-256 to generate the JWT security token with the following issuer and claims and expiring. Okay, so now we are good, but we have the login controller. We need to call this token service. Now to call the token service, we need to have the JWT token service as a part of it. So let's read private read only. Okay, JWT token service. Let's go JWT token service. We created a variable and we need to create a constructor CT for. Okay, now JWT token service as a dependency, we are going to get it JWT token service, and let's use underscore here JWT token service equal to input parameter which we are going to get it. Now we need to just call this here JWT token service dot generate token v which we created, and what is the username to be passed, admin, which we are getting as a part of input, request dot username, right? That's it. And the role we are going to pass it as the now admin. You can pass manager, regular user, developer, or anything. So once everything is okay, then we are going to send the new token which was coming as an input. Okay, now this is done. But did we register this WT token service? We need to register in the program.cs file, right? Builder dot services dot add singleton. What is the service name? JWT token service. Yeah, it is not to be like that, not like that. We need to use here. We need to define the class name. What is the class name? JWT token service. Okay. Yes, we done the setup for our application. Let's hit it. We are going to get the Swagger URL or Swagger application URL. And did we mention the app settings file? Yeah, we mentioned 17905. So still loading. So now Swagger is getting loaded. Yeah, if you see post method, we are getting it out. Let's try it out. So whatever the username we given admin, temporary username if you remember. So login controller, admin, password, right? And password is password. So let trigger it. Ideally it is to generate the token. You see there is some error. If you see value cannot be null parameter, which parameter? Assure null. DWTC claims we got it, everything we got it. Creds we are reading. Token is null, that's okay. Still it is not getting assigned. Claims are 4, that's okay. JWT settings also we are able to read it. Parameter S and value cannot be null, parameter S. Let's see. If you see value cannot be null, parameter S. Actually this expire in minutes is wrong. Expire in minutes is wrong. So let me go here. Read this. Control C and start the application. And let's modify the JWT token service. Right. So let it run it again. Yeah, browser is loaded. Click on write out and pass the admin, right? Admin and password. Okay, click on execute. Let's see. Yeah, token is generated. See, now this token is generated successfully without any issues. Okay, let's copy this token. So do we have anything secure or authorized any controller? No. So let's cross validate this token. Okay, what I will do, we'll copy this token and we'll keep this token here at the bottom. Okay, let's let's add one more controller to this, our application itself. So let me stop this. So I will add some secure controller. So click on add new item, uh, secure controller. Click on here, add controller, API controller. Okay, so in this as a part of it, we are going to add the just the controller methods similar to our method, this method. Okay, just copy this, paste here, but it is not HTTP post, it is a HTTP get, and this is just mentioned as a data. We are going to read it. Get secret data. Let's keep it as get data. So no input parameters are required. Nothing. Just click on just return OK with the message. This is a private message data. Okay. And now this is we created one secure control, that's okay, but we need to define it is authorized or not, right? So that we can do with the help of authorize. You may ask this authorize attribute actually where it is going to help authorize it. This authorize attribute with the help of program.cs file with the whatever the code which we written in this. If you see highlighted code, this is going to validate our incoming token, and whenever you are trying to access a secure controller with the authorized attribute first, everything will be validated as a part of this code. If everything is fine, then it will hit into the secure controller. Now let's see. So this secure controller is there, that's okay, but we need to pass the token to this method to hit it. So for this we'll go to the IS host URL is 17905. Okay, 5248 it was there. Let me stop here, or you can access this directly. Let's access this. There is a pre-setup at my side already, secure data. So and the token which was generated, we kept it in this. Copy this token, paste this in the authorization. So this parameter ideally you need to add it manually. So like mention key name is authorization and bearer is a bearer word, and the token is which is generated. So 404 not found. So why 5248 is not available? So why 48 is not available? 524 is 48 is actually Swagger generator URL. And if you see app setting one, we use 17905. Well, so let's convert to IS Express. We need to use IS Express to browse with the 17905 port number. Okay, now 17905 was coming. Now let's hit again. Could not send request. I think it's still not loaded. So yeah, it's loaded now. Check. Could not request. What is the URL actually? secure controller, try it out. Secure controller and data. Okay, so just a minute. In that case, did you identify anything? So issue is with the port number. What is the port number we are using actually? We are using 17905 port number as the our API URL. Okay, and we are still for not for HTTP localhost 17905 API secure data. Let's see what is the problem. I think app setting 17905 given everything is okay. 404 and again first we will generate the token. Let's see. Okay, the controller name itself is wrong, so that's why it is giving the issue. So I use a secure controller, right? So let's provide our okay, now hit it. Place hitting, see, authorize is working fine. So this is a private message or data whichever we are having, it is doing it. So where actually this token is actually validated, this token is getting validated in the program.cs file as I said. Now let's quickly create a consumer application. So in some cases we are going to have the multiple projects. Okay, in such cases you are going to have the more than one application where the same thing is getting going to the same token is going to get used for the multiple application. Token generation will be done in the API, and another API may consume the same token, or another web application can consume the same token. So in our case, I just mentioned the JWT token consumer. This is also an API. So what I am going to do, whatever the app settings we are having, I am going to copy the entire settings in this. Okay, JWT app settings, because in this application also I need to validate the token. Okay, and I'm not going to add the issuer is this way, sorry, audience is this way, rather I'm going to mention it is a single URL, and this single URL I will configure it. This is the audience, this is the receiver, consumer application. So in the consumer application I will mention 17906 17906, the port number, right? So let's open the 17906. Yes, it is done. Now where we need to validate this thing, so we need to validate how we have validated. Similarly we are going to validate here in this as well. So program.cs and app and everything, but did we added the NuGet package? No, so that's why this error is coming. So let's copy the NuGet package, I mean add the NuGet package as well. So for this package, add manage NuGet package, add the required NuGet package to our project JWT wearer. Okay, so I'm adding the package. As you know, we are working with the 8.0. I'm going to install the 8.0 NuGet package. So 8.0 NuGet package. Okay, clicking on install, it will install the required NuGet package to our system, or you can say project. The name is not good. I accept. What is happening in this? So let's comment this first, comment this thing. If we have any error, we cannot add the package. So let's again right click, manage NuGet packages, click on it and click on, it is already installed, it is showing. So let's see packages, yeah, package is installed. So let's uncomment this again, control KU. So what are the things we need? Control dot, it will show all the suggestions, and token validation parameters. The same thing, valid issuer, we need to valid lifetime, valid audience, valid issuer, and this is also we need to add system using text. Well, we are appended all the key audience, and here one correction, audience we are having only single parameter, but in our program we are reading as a, you know, as a array. So here I will modify it as in this way. So audience, okay, valid audiences, JWT settings, single audiences itself. So our application doesn't need to worry about which audience URL of our application need to be only mentioned, and other application URLs or other audience we should not worry about. It is 7905 or something. Suppose you generated a token from a application, say ABC. So the same ABC token generated, I mean the same token can be used for the across multiple application XYZ or PQR. So just mention wherever you are consuming the application, that audience URL is sufficient. I hope you understand. Let's see. So audience I mentioned, key I mentioned, this is the secret key which we used it to generate the token with HMAC SHA-256. Now we are going to add the one controller as well, secure controller. Let me copy the same controller and we'll paste the secure controller in this as well. I added the secure controller, but we'll mention the role here. Okay, so role equal to admin, I'll mention as admin. Okay, so even if the token is having, we are having, it should only work for the admin only. Now let's run this. Set as, right click as set as startup project. This is the consumer token where we can validate in, we are going to validate the token in this. So application is running. Yeah, URL opened if you see, but again it's a Sagar URL 5118. So let's change this port number from here, or not here, sorry, we are going to use from HTTP to HIS Express and run it. Now if you see, yeah, it's loaded, similar thing. So but URL number is 17906. Let's go here and just change here 17905 to 906 API, and the same token which was earlier generated, as its lifetime is 60 minutes. So let's hit it. See, this is private or message data, so you might get confused it. So let's put a breakpoint in the consumer application itself. Let trigger it. Yeah, it is triggered if you see, right? In the consumer application we are having the similar controller in this as well, don't get confused. So I am just tapping here. So let's change from rules to admin to manager. So you may think that where we mention this rule, we mention this rule in the login controller, and we mention the request.username, and the rule name is admin. If you see, go to implementation, if you see, the role name I am taking as admin, which I passed as is. Okay, you can pass anything whichever you want. Now I change it. So what is the error you will see? If you If you mention the wrong role, then let's see whether it will hit or not. See, 403 forbidden error, you will get it because role is not getting matched. If you mention the correct role, it will work fine. Okay. So one more important thing which I wish to say as part of this session itself. So roles I mentioned in the our consumer application is the admin itself, and you can say user where user http context dot user. Let me start the application first. So http context dot users. Okay, you will be see claims. Okay, user claims you will be able to see. Okay, and you wanted to read the, so this is reading the claims. Okay, and this is the role, and this is the consumer. Okay, so let's run it again. So far what we observed, let's reiterate. So we created the project and we added the negative packages and added the authentication settings, code for generating the token and validate the token. Generating the token, as you see, this is available in this. Okay, and validating the token will be by default, it will be available in this. Yeah, this is highlighted token, highlighted code. And what is the next thing? Code for generating validating, execute the endpoint using Swagger UI. You know how to consume it. I just we tried it, right? Oh, first time itself for generating the token, and use Postman to hit the endpoint. Yes, we are using the Postman to hit the endpoint, and use a single token for multiple application to validate. So you are seeing that the same token we are using for multiple application, the same token here which we are having right now. I copied, and verifying the token, another API, consumer API with an authorized attribute. Yes, you are seeing with the authorized attribute, right? After authorize only we are able to hit it. If you not mention, you will see the 401 error. Let's see comment, and now just run it, and you will see 401 authorization error. So but I will not pass the token as a part of it. So let's disable this, and it is loading. So what is the next key thing? Using the role concept. So roles also, you have seen it, and reading claims. The next thing we are left with the reading the claims. Let's see. Yeah, it loaded. So let me trigger the. We are now trying to understand the verify the token with the authorized attribute. If I not mention the authorized attribute, but still you added the challenge mechanism or default authentication mechanism. This is the consumer API. Yes, you are able to still hit it because we haven't mentioned the authorize. If you mention the authorize, then it will validate the token. Okay. So now what we will do, just we will uncomment it. Okay, but we will not pass the token. So what will happen, you can see that it will give the 401 error. Okay, let's run it. So still it is loading. You see application is loaded now. Let's minimize this and now hit it. So the same URL 401, see unauthorized. So you, if you not pass the token and you are trying to hit it now, then as it is mentioned as the authorized attribute, you cannot able to hit it. So this is the with authorized attribute and using the role concept. We have already covered the role, reading claims. Now I will mention the authorized attribute. Okay, now we are going to read the claims. Let's hit it now. click on send button. Now system is able to successfully hit it, and if you see user claims, there are user claims we are having result view. So all these things, audience and issuer, expiry time, and this is admin role, and name is also admin. Okay, these are the claims. And you wanted to see the token, you can see http context dot request dot, sorry, you can see with the request headers. See, the authorization token is coming, bearer token. Okay, this is the token which we supplied. This is the way where you can access the token as well. So what is the next thing we are having? Observing the token in JWT-IO. So let's read the same token in the JWT-IO so that you are able to understand what are the details will be there as a part of the token. Okay, so this is the token. Let's copy this token, and where is this? Where is this? Yeah, yeah, sorry, yeah. So I pasted. See, it is automatically showing the header section and payload section, right? So the majorly, if you see payload section admin, this is the claim name. There are multiple claims we added, right? One is name, one is role, and one other thing is audience. So name is admin, role is admin, audience URL is 17905. This is a generator application, and this is the consumer application, and expiry time and issuer. Who is the issuer of this token? So this way you can decrypt any token. Okay, and the algorithm type which we use is hmax SHA-256, and type is JWT. And seeing or observing the different errors and scenarios. Yeah, you seen when you pass doesn't pass 401 error will come, but even if you pass the token, but if the role is not matching, then 403 forbidden error will come. Yeah, this is what we have covered it so far. So how to use with this, you are able to definitely need to understand how to use generated token and validate it. So generated token and validation, yes, right? If you put this mechanism the program, then it will automatically validate it. If you not put it, then it will not validate it. Which code actually validate the token? The same thing which I highlighted. How to use the same token for multiple application? Yes, we use the two application. One is consumer and one is generator. Okay, and how to set claims? Claims also, you see while generating the token itself, I have set the claims. So that is JWT token service. We used it the claims, right? So this is like how we are going to set the claims. Okay, and how to access the claims in the consumer application. Just now I shown you to access the use the claims, right? This is the claims, we are accessing it. And how to test it through Postman. Yes, how to test it. I hope this session is definitely will help you. I will upload this complete you know these two projects and complete solution into the Git repo, and the Git repo I will mention in the description. You can access it from that link. Thank you for now. Thank you very much.